Let's get it, everybody. Let's get it. Welcome back to another episode of the Late Night Show with your host, Dr. Kojo. We're talking about signs that your skills are regressing. We're talking about skill regression today. I actually have 4 signs. Let me update the title so that way it says 4 signs because I don't think I added a number on every single one, but it's 4 signs that your skills are regressing. So we're live on a couple of different platforms. We're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn. We are also live on YouTube as well. And we are live on TikTok. We're also live on Kick. Not a lot of folks who are, acclimated to Kick, but we are live on Kick and Twitch. So a couple of different platforms. Let me update the title everywhere. I think we're okay. LinkedIn. I can't update the fine. That's fine. Whatever. You won't update the title on LinkedIn. It's cool. All right, y'all. Use the comment section to let me know where you all are checking in from. I know we have an international audience, so let's see who all is here, and then we'll get the show on the road. LinkedIn doesn't delete this or just move. What? I remove LinkedIn from this. Looks like we won't be able to stream on LinkedIn today. What? LinkedIn? Crazy. All right. So we're not going to stream on LinkedIn today. It's, all good. All good. We're having technical difficulties, so we cannot stream on LinkedIn, but the show will go on regardless on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, all the other places. So I'm looking here on TikTok. We have Love from Chicago, Aaron in Chicago, Grateful and Blessed in New Jersey, Mimi's from Georgia, got love from Nova Scotia. We have Michigan in the house. Everybody represent your hood. Represent your hood. Let me know where y'all checking in from. Henan checking in from Milwaukee. I appreciate you, Henan, on TikTok. Ooh, my stomach is going like this. That's what my stomach is doing today. We have Love from Brisbane. That's Australia. Then we also have Benjamin from Australia as well. Stacy Kelly from Tampa, Florida. Strawberry Novocaine from Baltimore, Maryland. Then we have Orlando, Florida in the house. Texas in the house. Louisiana in the house. Okay. So I think we've seen a couple of international folks. My Australians are always showing up. They're live. Very lively crew, my Australians. So shout out to my Australians. It's actually Australia is a big country and continent, but Melbourne and Sydney are 2 of my biggest hubs. That's where we have a lot of supporters. So shout out to my people who are watching from all across the world in Australia. Y'all are probably like 15, 16 hours ahead of me on the West Coast. So shout out to them. British Columbia, Canada, come do a show in Milwaukee. Guarantee it'll sell out. I would love to do a show in Milwaukee. I would love to do a show in Milwaukee. I've never actually been. I've never been to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I would love to do that eventually. I would love to do that. And speaking of shows, we will be live in Chicago. Okay, we will be live in Chicago on June the 18th. I'm bringing my comedy show to Chicago, Illinois. The first show is looking like it's going to sell out. So we added a second show in Chicago. So this is the 3rd city on our tour that we have added a second show, which is super cool. That's the goal of comedy. You want to sell out the show and then add a second one. So we did that in Houston. We were doing that in Nashville. And now we've done it in Chicago. So 3 for 4. We didn't get it in New York, but still we have a very nice and sizable crowd showing up in New York City. So that's going to be exciting. Hey, if Chicago is an hour away from where you are in Milwaukee, come on through. UK Center of Criminals, Australia. Oh, did not know that. Very interesting. All right. Let me make a couple of changes to the title, and then we will get going. Charlie Sister says, "You're so handsome. Are you married?" No, I'm married to the game, but don't have a wife. And Chicago, we're gonna be at the Comedy Bar in Chicago, Illinois. The Comedy Bar. The Comedy Bar in Chicago. All right. Let me see. Let me update this title real quick. All right. There we go. I'm having to fix this title stuff on the back end. Yeah. What? Copy and paste. Oh my goodness. We will get to the signs. Don't you worry. There we go. Okay, and then I think we'll go on TikTok. Perfect. I'll be returning from. Oh, that's cool. What we're gonna do in Spain. Okay, we're traveling. We're getting out of the country. That's super cool. That's dope. Ghost and Schema says, greetings. I had a skill regression episode last week. Okay, well, we're gonna talk about skill regression, and why it happens. One thing that I am working on right now, on a side note, is being more concise with titles and just a description of things. So I'm looking at the title right now: ADHD and 4 signs of your skills. Okay, I like that. Permissible. I like that. Canary Islands. That's gonna be good. We need to get out more. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, so somebody is watching from Canada. I was waiting for my Canadians to show up. Ontario. Good to see y'all. All right, so one more time, let me just mention the comedy show dates. The very next show is going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. That's May 31st. The first show sold out. The second one, we added the second show. It's selling well. So get your tickets to the comedy show in Nashville, Tennessee. That's May 31st at the Zanies Lab. After that, we're going to New York City at Rodney's Comedy Club, June 11th on a Thursday, a New York Thursday night. I would love to see you there. I'm excited to go back to New York. It's been a while. So I need to go to New York, I feel like at least 2-3 times a year. That's how amazing of a city New York is. Then we go to Chicago, which is my favorite comedy town in the United States of America. The last time I went to Chicago, we only sold 12 tickets. Yeah, yes, sir. Last time we went to Chicago, we only sold 12 tickets. So to sell out the first show in Chicago and add a second one, it means a lot to me. It means that there's a lot of people who are supporting me and watching from the Chicago area, or maybe like the greater Milwaukee area as well. People who are within, driving distance to Chicago, Illinois. So I'm so excited for that. We also have added more dates throughout the rest of the year. Boston, Massachusetts, Springfield, Massachusetts in July. Then in September, we have Phoenix, Arizona, or Chandler, Arizona, to be more specific. Then San Diego in December. We will also look to add some shows in November and in August as well. So just want to say that. And we only sold 12 tickets the last time in Chicago, but we've grown substantially since then. The good thing about that is, it could be embarrassing to have to say that out loud, or, to really face reality, but it just made me better at understanding my audience, knowing how to promote better. I already had millions of followers back then, but I did not know how to promote myself on the internet and how to really, work with the pain points of what we as a community deal with, and then turn that into the comedy. So we've gotten so much better at that, and it's going to be a blessing for me to be in Chicago, to do comedy with my people. So I'm excited for that. Body Cam Fit says Chicago here. Okay, we got a lot of people from Chicago that support me. Well, Chicago, let's rock out. Chicago on a Thursday. Let's rock out. And now let's talk about skill regression, okay? Skill regression. I made a video about this recently. The skill regression is what happens when you go for too long without receiving the proper support, all right? So every neurodivergent needs some type of external support. If you're watching this live stream and you're neurodivergent, or you think you could be neurodivergent, you will need some type of external support in order to first survive this world, number one, and then number two, thrive. All right. So if you don't have this help and this support, life is going to be hard for you. You're going to be feeling like you're carrying a lot of weight on your shoulders, and you probably are. And no matter how well you do, at some point, you're going to hit this wall where You're burnt out. You can only do so much. It happens for the majority of us. We will all burn out in some capacity. And burnout comes from working really hard on the wrong things, or working really hard on things that don't matter to you, things that you can't make sense of, or just working really hard in general with no point to the hard work. So it's important to know where you need help at, what type of help you need, and what system you can create to keep you upright. All right. What system you can create to keep you upright. On TikTok, somebody says, I have a neurodivergent 19-year-old son who I believe has hit this wall. Okay, well, Mrs. Caregiver, I think he could use some support. Ruthie said, I cried today at work. I was so embarrassed. Ruthie, I'm sorry to hear that. There will be better days. And I have a great question here. Right before I get into the 4 signs, somebody on TikTok asks a great question. Right underneath somebody who's saying they're in Chicago. Some of my Chicago folks are showing up. The question says, Doc, is it typical to have skill regression even while taking ADHD meds? Yes, you can. All right. So when it comes to support, ADHD medications are just one way to support yourself. And if you've ever taken these medications, you know that they don't fix everything. You can take your Adderall and sometimes focus on the wrong thing. You could take your meds, and instead of you working on your spreadsheets or your emails, you want to call up everybody that you know, and you want to talk to folks because you're so happy because your mood has been lifted. So meds do, they do a lot of the heavy lifting, but not everything, right? Sometimes that's external support that we need to answer Alice's question. It can be in the form of somebody who comes to work out with you 2-3 times a week. Somebody who comes over to your house, helps you clean up a little bit. Somebody who comes and watches a movie with you. Somebody who reminds you to get certain key things done. Somebody who will text you and say, hey, tomorrow's Friday morning. It's trash day. I'm just reminding you to get the trash out, and I'm getting my trash out right now. So I just didn't want you to forget, because missing trash day is one of the biggest L's you can take as an adult. Ain't nothing more frustrating than missing trash day. You have to wait a whole nother week to get, nah. So external support can come in many different forms. The key is you just need some type of support, all right? You need some type of support. And She Slay on TikTok says, I have a housekeeper that comes every other week. In the video that I made talking about skill regression, I said that maybe the most impactful thing that I've done, well, is medications, but after medications, the most impactful thing that I've done to help prevent me from losing my skills is to get a housekeeper. It's such a big deal. Anywhere I go, anywhere I move, like I've had a housekeeper for the past 6-7 years, and I understand that that's a privilege and it costs money, but even just having a friend who can come by and help you with some of these chores can be very helpful. Close this right here. Close this right here. And Tina, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Tina. Tina asks, why do we feel like we have to work around the clock and achieve everything? Hey, because some of us have that motor. Some of us have that dog in us. So, Keno, Zo, let me do a live stream. Keno. She can lick me other times. My dog. Ooh, I know y'all heard that. A lot of us sometimes think that working hard will help us out, or working harder. The key is not working harder. The key is working smarter. Sometimes resting more will help you get a lot more done. You can't burn the candle on both ends and expect to be productive. So sometimes we forget that, though. We forget that sometimes. Leilani, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let me get my list right here. The 4 signs that your skills are regression. Why am I messing up with that word today? I said regression. Regressing. All right. Signs that your skills are regressing. My talking skills are regressing in real time right now. I'm not able to get my words out for whatever reason. All right. You've been masking. When the regression is regressing, right? And you start to burn out. All right. So the first one right here, let me read the first sign after the super chat right here. So Posh Pearls, thank you for the super chat. Posh says, it's strange. I either work to the point of exhaustion or in a near comatose state in bed. No in between. Trying to find a balance is so hard. Trying to find a balance is extremely difficult. And with most things in life, there is no balance, but you have to find your definition of balance. Because we're sometimes too extreme. Like we'll work so hard, and then sometimes we can't do anything. But what I can tell you is that when you're working really hard, get as much as you can get done while the hyperfixation is there, while you have the energy, because when that low hits, sometimes you can't even get out of bed. So it's all about figuring out how to get to a healthier middle ground. All right, so signs that your skills are regressing. All right, number one, you've been masking for too long and you start to burn out. Okay, so if you're constantly pretending that everything is okay and everything is fine when you actually need help, if you were a neurodivergent who's cosplaying as a neurotypical, yeah, at some point you will start to lose your skills. The ironic thing about this is that you mask in order to get a job, you mask in order to get into a relationship, you mask for social benefits. So it helps you in the beginning, but you got to know when to get out. You have to know when to give it up. That's the key. Everybody mask every now and then. A little masking here and there. We'll keep the doctor away. We can get out with a little masking, but when you've created a whole separate personality for yourself, and you don't know who you are anymore, you're gonna hit a point where you could lose some of your skills. It's real and it happens. Someone says, this man's spitting bars. Well, I'm spitting right now. How real do you want to get on Thursday night? I'm spitting right now. I'm spitting. Somebody on TikTok says, I asked my psychiatrist for support at work. Accommodations, FMLA, stuff, a day off. She said she couldn't do that. Some psychiatrists have policies where they won't do that. And some do. So it's about finding a provider who feels comfortable to help you with those accommodations, because FMLA, work accommodations, we need those things. It's crazy how we have IEPs and 504 plans in school when we're kids, but then you become an adult and you're just forced to raw dog it. Akon never got locked up. You saw one of my jokes, Hanan. That's funny. The evening crash is hard. Ghost and Schema. Susie, my goodness, this is super relatable right here. I work best from 11 p to 3 a.m. Like I do this as well. A lot of us are just better at night because the phones aren't going off. It's quiet. If we can have nighttime focus during the day, we will be rock stars, like big time rock stars. We can still be rock stars, but Valerie, I appreciate you. You saved your life. I was just a part of your story. So you saved your life, and I'm grateful that I get to be a small part of your story, however small or big that is. I'm just happy that I get to be a part of the Valerie story. I appreciate y'all. Felicia says, currently experiencing skill regression. My main support, my mom, who passed in 2023. I didn't know I was in the spectrum until after she passed, so I'm being thrown to the deep end. Felicia, sorry to hear that. When people lose that support, it's difficult, and you're grieving for multiple different reasons here. So you have to be real kind to yourself. All right, you have to be real kind to yourself. Kayla on TikTok says, nighttime is my time. Kayla, that's you and me both. That is you and me both. Anya says, can you talk about people who think they're artistic but don't? Oh yeah, at a later time. At a later time, I'm looking for comments that are in line with the live stream. And somebody mentioned, or two people have mentioned the Adderall crash, or when you crash off your meds. So when you crash off your meds, it's different from skill regression, all right? Because skill regression is progressive. It happens for years of masking, and I'll talk about the other things that can lead to it. But the crash from the Adderall or stimulants comes from the medication wearing off. Like you took it in the morning, it helped you focus, helped you regulate your mood, and now as it's wearing off, you kind of go back to your actual self, the version of you that struggles to focus. So you just become a bit more irritable. You get a little pissy sometimes. So that's normal to see with the crash. All right. Okay. Signs that your skills are regressing. The second one. All right. You're struggling to adapt to major life changes. All right. You're struggling to adapt to major life changes. When I say major life changes, what am I talking about? I'm talking about moving. Moving is moving is number one on my list. My goodness, because moving sucks. Moving really sucks. Now, once you're settled in to your new spot, your new city, your new home, and you got your Wi-Fi running, you got the utilities, going, then you feel good. Everything is in place. We've unpacked. We're good. But moving is very stressful. Moving is stressful. Breakups, new jobs, quitting a job, being pregnant, losing your routine, things like that. Things that shake you up, okay? The big life changes. If you're struggling to adapt to these life changes, could be a sign that your skills are regressing, right? So let's say you moved from Ackworth, Georgia to Dallas, Texas, and the move happened 8 months ago, but you're still struggling to adapt to Texas. You're struggling to find your community. You're struggling to find your routine once again. You're struggling to feel like you know what you're doing. Because anytime there's a big change with anything for all of us, right? Neurodivergent or not, when there's a big change in your life, you're going to have a period where you're kind of, things are out of whack, things are wonky, but eventually you get back to baseline, right? You go back to how you were before you moved. If you're finding it to be very difficult to get back to baseline, or you never do get back to baseline and you're permanently stuck or you're dysregulated, it could be a sign that your skills are regressing, okay? It could be a sign that your skills are regressing, that we're going backwards. We're not going the right way, we're going backwards. And we want to go forwards, not backwards. All right. And Christina says, I lost my job in March and I'm still burnt out from it. So Christina on TikTok, that's actually a pretty good indicator of skill regression and burnout. You lost the job in March. So she hasn't worked this job in 2 months, but she's still burnt out from a job that she was working really hard at. And work can be like that sometimes. If you leave a job, whether you lose it, whether you get fired, whether you go somewhere else, when you leave a job, sometimes you're still stressed from that job, especially if you had a lot of responsibilities, especially if you had the responsibilities of more than just one person. Sometimes you have to leave a job before the people realize that you're doing the work of 4 or 5 people. A lot of us can relate to that. And someone says, is decades worth of compounded skill regression reversible? So the same way that skills can regress, you can also make progress, okay? But it will take some time. You said decades worth. So if it took you decades to lose your skills, it may take you years again to build up your skills. But as long as you see progress, then at least you can be excited in the work that you're doing and you have something to look forward to. You don't have to get it all back in one, but you have to feel like you're at least on the right track, What about divorce? Grandpa died and had to move and now have to find a job after not paid work for 22 years. Oh, Melissa, these are big life adjustments right here. This is tough. I mean, we could have stopped at the divorce. You said, what about divorce? We can take out your grandfather dying. Sorry for your loss, by the way. We can take out the moving. We can take out having to look for a job, and we can take out the financial component. And we can just talk about the divorce. If all you said here was, what about divorce? That right there qualifies as a major life event. A divorce by itself could throw you into a funk where you lose your skills. So you gotta be super kind to yourself. All right. We do the best that we can, and our best is going to have to be good enough. And as our capacity expands, the definition of best is going to change. Because I have the quote where I'll say, your best is good enough. I like to say that. And people sometimes, depending on how depressed you are, you may not believe me. You're like, well, I don't believe that my best is good enough. I've been stuck in bed for days and weeks. I haven't showered in 2 weeks. I haven't brushed my teeth. What do you mean my best is good enough? Your best is good enough. If you can't shower, but you can just wash your face, give yourself a little bird bath. Let's say you got somebody coming over. Try to have a little Mickey Ficky, try to have a good night, but your self-care is not where it needs to be. Take a little bird bath, do the essentials. Be proud of yourself, okay? You gotta be proud of yourself. And as you start to progress with your skills once again, your capacity will expand. And when your capacity expands, then your best will be different from what it was a month ago when you were struggling to get out of bed. Yeah, the bird bath. Sometimes you need a bird bath. You feel me? Now, look, if somebody coming over, let's say you got a shawty coming over and, you're really feeling the shawty, or, for whoever you like, you got somebody coming over, you're really feeling that person. Okay, all right, okay, cool. Maybe we might take a full shower. But if it's not something that's like too important, hey, do the minimum, do what you can do, and then we'll keep it moving. All right. Do what you can do, and we'll keep it moving. Just do what you can do. Exodiac on TikTok says, in the middle of skill regression, support system broke away almost fully. I feel like crashing. You got to hang in there, guys. You got to hang in there. When your capacity is dwindled, it becomes very frustrating because you judge yourself based off of what you were able to do. That's the issue. That's the big issue we don't talk about. You judge yourself based off of non-depressed you. We all do this. You get depressed and you feel like you should be doing more. No, well, when you weren't depressed, you could do more, but now that you are depressed, you can't do more. And that's going to have to be okay for right now. I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to, snap your fingers and all of a sudden have capacity to do more? No, you can't do that. So you got to be kind to yourself. Whatever you can do at that moment, that's your best. Shoot. As we can do more, we'll do more. But for right now, this bird bath is going to have to do. If you don't want to come over because I'm smelling, hey, it is what it is. This bird bath is going to have to do. I put all the clothes in a separate room. I ain't cleaned up the whole place, but I put the clothes in a separate room. This is my best for now. Take it or leave it. Haley, I appreciate that. I hope that you all enjoy the content. I enjoy making the content for y'all. All right. Number 3, and we kind of alluded to this already, but number 3, you're consistently under a lot of stress and dealing with repeated trauma. All right. Okay. Let me word that differently. You've been stressed for an extended period of time, and you're dealing with repeated trauma. Let me get my words right. And you're dealing, there we go. You've been stressed for an extended period of time, and you're dealing with repeated trauma. Okay. And She Slay says, I'm in survival mode at this point. Look, a lot of us are in survival mode. It's you can't do anything in survival mode. I think we need to have more live streams where we talk about it. But when you're in survival mode, you can't be creative. You can't really plan for the future. All your energy goes towards making sure that you survive. So getting out of survival mode in the most linear fashion is going to be the key. And once again, you can't shame your way out of survival mode. You have to be kind to yourself. The pants I'm wearing right now, I ripped my pants, and I've had this pants fixed like 3 times. Random thought, but I'm like, damn, I ripped my pants. Damn, I can't stand up. uh, and Ricardo, I get that you're joking, but it would be helpful to have a significant other who can help with tasks that you can't do. But I wouldn't wait. I would do what you can do for the time being, and then as you know, as your capacity expands, hopefully you find a partner. And somebody says 3 has been the biggest issue for me. Repeated trauma. It's hard to break out of certain situations. It is. It's difficult. But if we can boil things down to one good decision at a time, one decision that moves your life forward in a productive way, that's the key. Sometimes you can't control the trauma that you're experiencing. You can change environments and still bad things may happen. But you have to make a concerted effort to make one good decision at a time to change your life. One good decision at a time to change your life, right? So if you've been stressed for an extended period of time and you're dealing with repeated trauma, guys, the only way you would avoid skill regression here is why can't I say that word today? What's going on? I just made 4 videos about skill regression and I said it perfectly. And now I get on the live stream my words. But yeah, if you're stressed for a long time and trauma keeps hitting you like over and over and over, you have to get some type of help. Without getting that type of help, your skills will regress. Your skills will regress. I know that song. I remember that SpongeBob song. I need to go listen to it because I ripped my pants. And these are the pants from Suit Supply. So these are a couple $100, pretty expensive pants. That's why I fixed them. Like, I'm not throwing these pants away. Even if these pants can be fixed, I would still, even if there was a giant hole in my pants, I would still wear it. I would still wear it. Dating with ADHD autism can be challenging. Any advice? Yes. Write down all of the things that you would want in a partner and then work on giving those things to yourself. Sounds kind of dumb, right? But write down everything that you would like in a partner and work on giving that to yourself, because that will take you out of being in a needy state and you'll be in a state where you're a non-needy state. You don't need anything. And then you can attract people who can come in and help you, because everybody wants to help somebody who is already, working on something. So in addition to that, also figure out what you're really good at, right? Because those of us who are neurospicy, we are great at a lot of things that people have no idea how to do. So whatever you're good at, see how you can help out a potential partner. Because if you get into a relationship and they're just helping you out, you're going to feel like they're a second caretaker or like a parent. You don't want that. You want to also help them out as well. So figure out what type of support you need and figure out what type of support you're really good at giving other people. And then you got to barter. Right? Back in the day, before money, you would barter. I give you this, you give me that. Bartering. And skill regression can happen in kids. It can happen to anybody. Now, with kids, you tend to have your parents and teachers and authority figures to help you. And not all kids have their parents. Not all kids have good support at school. So those kinds of kids will be the ones that you worry about when it comes to skill regression. I wear my clothes until it is. Great. That's funny. Let me see. And for those of you on TikTok, try not to spam the chat, please. I do my best to get to as many as possible. And yeah, I'm having skill regression, saying skill regression. Facts. I'm having a hard time saying skill regression. But every now and then, my words may struggle to come out. My words could struggle to come out. Okay. Candace, I see what's going on. You're a giver. Okay. Givers need to be with other givers. I've come to that. That's what I believe now. I've come to believe that wholeheartedly. Givers need to be with other givers. When you are a giver, you tend to attract takers. Okay, because givers feel good when they give. And guess who likes to receive from givers? Takers. Takers. So if you run to a lot of takers, it's going to zap your soul. And over time, you're going to not feel good about yourself. You're going to feel like you're being used. You're going to feel like you're on the, the short end of, the wrong stick. Things are not going to be good for you. So trying to find a balance. Sometimes when it comes to dating, the issue is just, to put it plainly, you may have picked the wrong person. A lot of us will pick people that are not good for you. And when I say not good, I'm not talking about like an evil person, or evil and good and bad is all subjective. But what I'm talking about is the person wasn't compatible for you. Okay, so if you are a true giver, you need to be with other givers. Being with takers is good. That will lead to skill regression. That will lead to you not feeling good about yourself, and then you're gonna take that attitude back to the dating market, and you're gonna feel like all men are bad, or all people are bad, and it's not the case. But you have to find somebody who is a giver. So as you give and they give, because taking is easy. Like taking is easy. Like, yeah, give me stuff, give me a PlayStation, come cook me some food. Yeah, like taking is easy, but giving is difficult. Well, for some of us, giving comes naturally, but giving is harder than taking. So just find sometimes you're at the wrong address. It can take a lifetime for people to figure out that you've just been around other people who are taking from you. And look, a taker will never expose themselves. A taker will never say, "Hey, I'm a taker. I'm a taker. Come over here. I'm gonna take, and I'm not gonna give back. I'm gonna drain you." Nobody says that. Takers come as everything that you've ever wanted, and they're very kind and they're very nice. But then when you stop giving, then you kind of see who they are. So just do your best to surround yourself with other givers. I'm a giver, so I surround myself with givers, and really and truly, I just keep the circle small, because everybody in my circle are all givers. We all give the shirt off their backs to help out somebody. And She Slay says, giving is a lot easier for me than taking. Yeah, some of us are natural givers. Givers will drown in rejection, sensitive dysphoria with a taker in a relationship. Lack of reciprocation will take a toll. That's big facts. Big facts. And this is a great song right here. You can't hurry love. Oh, he said love don't come easy, but it's a game of give and take. Okay. We got some Phil Collins fans in the house. Oh man, I love this song. I love Phil Collins too. Ooh, until that day, she said love don't come easy, 'cause it's a game of give and take. I'm gonna step to that song after this live stream. It's gonna be stuck in my head. And unfortunately, YouTube has this thing where if you sing a song on your live stream, they'll identify that you sung Phil Collins, and the live stream could be demonetized, which is crazy. Even if I sing in the wrong key, they'll detect, he was singing Phil Collins. Kind of crazy. And somebody says, I thought a black woman wrote that song. Maybe she did. I don't know. I just know Phil Collins sings it, but maybe a black woman wrote it. Maybe a black woman wrote it. Dreaming Duchess says, I can see you're a giver, very generous even with your time. Yeah, I'm a giver. I like to give. I like to give. Oh, originally by the Supremes. Oh, okay. Did not know that. I learned something new today. So this song was written by the Supremes. I think that's Diana Ross and the Supremes. So did not know that. Community, thank you for educating me. Thank you for educating. I did not know that. Super cool. Did not know that. Did not know that. That's cool. But yes, Dreaming Duchess on TikTok says, I can see you're a giver, very generous with your time. With my community, I am, because this community, 6 million strong now. Almost all of the good things that have happened to me and all the opportunities I get comes from this community. So for this community, I have time. I don't have time for a lot of things, but for this community, I have time. I got time. Camper Tab says, I'm financially not always stable, but I am a giver of my skills in any way I can help, cooking, cleaning. And guys, that's what matters. You have to know your strengths and your weaknesses. If you can't help out financially, but you can help out with cooking and cleaning, those are all things that can be very helpful. Those are all things that can be very helpful. So whatever you can do, whatever you can do. But yeah, I did not know that. Diana Ross and the Supremes. Y'all teaching me things today. That's super cool. Being a giver in a world full of takers. Right. You got to know yourself. If you're a giver, just know. And Francis Ross on TikTok says it's better to give than receive. I think the Bible says that. So yeah, but you have to know there's a time and place to give, right? You got to know. You got to know. Mirror Lux. I can't say the last word, but thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, feels good to see these comments. I appreciate you, and I'm happy that the content is striking a chord and resonating with y'all. Super cool for me. Make time for your lives also. I appreciate that. Thank you. Are y'all really together? No, they're skits. I try to explain that to people, but people will ship Emily and I. You know, I can't tell everybody, hey, is this skits? People are like, oh, I love what you and your wife did. I'm like, thank you. Your channel is amazing. ADHD, never knew why I felt the way I did until I had kids. The kids helped you unmask. I appreciate you, Crystal. I appreciate you. Candace, likewise, it's a mutual feeling. My life only came into balance when I found a way to give to myself and only give to others from my excess love. Love of the show right here. Love of the show for Katrina's comment. Big facts right here. We should be giving from our excess love. Let's say that this is all I have, right? Can y'all see his water bottle? If this is all I have, if this is my capacity, I should not be giving a lot, right? Look, maybe a sixth of this, or maybe like a fourth. This is like a fourth left. So I'm on 25% here. If this is my battery, I shouldn't be giving a lot right now. Right now, I should be conserving my energy. I should be doing a lot for myself, pouring into self-care until I get higher and higher and higher. And as I get right here, I can start thinking about giving. I get closer. Oh, I'm about to be full soon. Okay, all right, I'm full. I'm full now. And then as you start to overflow with extra water, extra energy, oh, now we got a whole lot of loving to give. We got a whole lot of loving to give away. Somebody can come and get this loving, right? We got a whole lot of loving because our capacity is expanded. We have a lot to give. So then you can give, but then when you're down here, it's helpful to be selfish. Ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. So know when it's time to really lock in on yourself. Daniel, I appreciate that. Thank you for the support of the content. Feels really good. I appreciate that. Hey, if you're in New York City, Rodney's Comedy Club, June 11th on a New York Thursday night is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be so exciting on a New York Thursday nighter. That's gonna be so fun. June 11th. So that's gonna be super, super dope for me. Excess love, yeah. Give from the excess love, right? All that loving. You can give it. Also a neurodivergent therapist in Arizona. Embrace the journey. I appreciate that. Thank you. A lot of videos is how I explain to my husband how my brain works. Thank you. I appreciate that. Catherine, Houston was great. We had 2 shows in Houston on the 26th of April. The first show was sold out. The second show, we had a nice little crowd. And I loved it. I loved Houston. Houston's on my short list of places to go back to. Amazing. Masked relationships aren't unreal, in my opinion. They usually aren't. They aren't usually as deep as they could be, but they serve their purpose and brought people together. I agree. And look, sometimes relationships are transactional, and that's okay. the best type of relationship is a non-transactional one. Like that feels so good. You don't feel like you're being used, but in business and with other things, relationships will be transactional, and it's okay. So it is what it is. And Catherine, yes, Houston was great. Houston was amazing. Houston was amazing. It was a great place to kick off the tour, and I'm excited for Nashville. Today is what, May the 21st, so 10 days away from the next stop on the tour, Nashville, Tennessee, at the Zanies Lab. First show sold out. The second show, we still have tickets. So, guys, get your tickets. Nashville, Tennessee, get your tickets. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Ooh, this one right here is what I really feel. Signs that your skills are regressing. You're not getting enough rest and recovery. You're not getting rest and recovery. When you get your foo-foo? Oh, okay. For the foo, hey, that's our next level to get that foo-foo. Because I gotta outsource that from one of the aunties. That's our next level. But a possibility. A possibility. Ricardo, I agree. And yeah, look, givers will not, takers will not tell you who they really are. So nobody's gonna just say, "Hey, I'm a taker." Mary, coming 3 hours to see me in Nashville. I appreciate that. Anybody who travels to come to one of my shows, it means a lot to me. I'll get to the fourth point in a second. And actually, it's not, I don't know why I wrote 2. It should be 4. It's not the second point. It's the fourth point. But anyway, back to Mary's comment. Anybody who comes to see me and they drive hours long to come, I appreciate you. And I can't wait to see you in Nashville. It's going to be so good. Thank you for coming out. Nearly a 6-hour round trip to come out and see your boy. I appreciate that. Let me put the fourth point in here again. You're not getting enough rest and recovery. Signs that you are headed for skill regression, right? You're not getting enough rest and recovery. And someone says, "You're stepping on my toes tonight." I might be. And the person who mentioned Austin, I would love to go to Austin, Texas. I would love to go to Austin's probably the home of comedy right now. There's even a good place to move for a comedian. Austin's great. So I would love to do a show in Austin. I would love to do a show in Austin, Texas. Y'all are cool people down there too. But the fourth point here, and yeah, somebody dropped a magic word in the chat so we can officially drink some, get some beverages in. Somebody dropped a magic word in the chat, okay? But if you're not getting enough rest and recovery, what's going to happen is that your skills are going to regress. You're not getting enough rest and recovery. You need rest and recovery. I am very hypocritical when I say this because I've tried to cut back on sleep to do other things, and that's never been a good move. And the older I get, the harder it is to function off of less and less sleep. So I've had to prioritize sleep. Like you cannot get around sleep. You can't. Big cheers, y'all. Big cheers. Let's get some water in. This is Nello, but whatever it is for you, get something to hydrate you. Keeping it weird in Austin. Is that how y'all do it in Austin? Austin's a great town. And someone says, "I love Austin. First place I can unmask and be myself." Oh, y'all are being yourself in Austin? Okay. That's what's up. Ricardo says, "I have to wake up in 5.5 hours, but this last year is so cool." Ricardo, I've been there. I have been there. Guys, we gotta get sleep. I see magnesium glycinate for anxiety and sleep. Benadryl. I saw Benadryl. I've used Benadryl for years. I think long-term use of Benadryl is not the best, but I've used it for years because it was hard to sleep in school without it. Um, that's the only thing that could ever get me to sleep. Not even melatonin, but it's important to know what works for you. Some people are Benadryl people. Some people are trazodone people. Some people are relaxation people. Some people are magnesium or L-theanine people. But you have to figure out a way to wind down and a way to get up. That's so important for all of us as neurodivergence. And what I'm working on now is I'm working on starting the day off with a lot of enthusiasm and getting out of bed quickly. Get out of bed quickly, take a shower, get the day going ASAP. ASAP. So that way I don't just lounge in the bed for hours. And likewise, get off my phone at night and read a book so that way I can get some sleep. We got to get some sleep. And thank you so much for dropping in on Twitch. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Some people are hydroxyzine people as well. Oh, take advantage for cheers. Okay. Oh yeah, it is 2 hours ahead where you're at. Somebody says, I do strange things on Ambien. Okay, look, all right. If you do strange things on Ambien, maybe you need to tell your doctor that. You might have to switch it up. And how long before trying to go sleep do you take Benadryl? I mean, when I really have to go to sleep, I'll take Benadryl like 2 hours before I want to go to bed, or like an hour and a half, because it takes me a while to wind down. Like I have to prepare for bed 2.5 hours before I actually go to sleep. It's a whole thing for me. But I do know that if you don't get the right rest and recovery, guess what? Your skills will regress. Your skills will absolutely regress. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I see some folks talking about Ativan and hydroxyzine. Yeah, so there are different ways that you can ensure that you get some sleep. But if you're not sleeping, guys, that is a big priority. It's something that should come up to your doctor. And of course, people are leaving the suggestions in here, what they do and how they get to sleep. Listen to what people are saying, but when it comes to what you should do for yourself, you should go to your doctor and figure out what will work. And of course, you can use the over-the-counter stuff too, but sleep is a big priority. You got to get some sleep. You got to get some sleep. Luciano, I appreciate you. I do strange. Sheasley says, I do strange things on Ambien. My husband doesn't want me to change. Well, whatever the Ambien is making you do, looks like you're doing the right thing. Looks like you do the right thing. If he doesn't want you to change, then I don't think it's a problem. Whatever the Ambien is making you do, whatever in the world is making you do, you know, keep it up, I guess. It looks like it's working. Yeah, the Benadryl morning grogginess does kind of suck, but if you really struggle to get to sleep, like what are you gonna do? Catherine, yeah, and Mickey Ficky is right. Mickey Ficky is right. Mickey Ficky is right. Some people sleep better without a pillow. And Damien, I get this. Sometimes you just can't go to sleep. That's true. Sometimes you just cannot go to sleep. I know this all too well. But what I'm telling y'all is that you have to figure out a game plan for sleep. Because if you don't get sleep, if you don't get rest, you will lose your skills. It will become harder for you to talk to people. It will be harder for you to follow a routine. When the routine goes out of the window, guess what comes into the house? Depression. Anytime routine goes away, depression is waiting for you. Depression is just waiting for you to drop your routine. And the moment you drop it, it comes creeping in. Like, hi, I'm back. Routine is an antidote to depression. But how can you have routine if you're not sleeping? You gotta sleep. Some way, somehow. I know it's really hard. Like doing nothing is hard for me, and sleeping is hard for me. But doing like actual things is easier than sleeping or doing nothing. We have to train ourselves to do nothing. We have to train ourselves to do nothing. And sometimes the way that you can get sleep or better sleep is not by doing more, but it's by doing less and saying no. No, 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 no. I can't do this. No, 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 no. Because when you burn out, who's coming to help you? It's a lot easier to say no and take care of yourself that way than to burn out and then ask for help. What you should still do if you burn out, but you can help yourself out by saying no. It's a big thing to say no. Say no. Colleen asked a great question right here. And we are the Q&A side of the live stream. We'll do Q&A for a little bit, and then I have to head to this meeting. Let me tell my assistant that I need some more time real quick. Okay. Yeah, Tina, we have to train ourselves to do nothing. I don't know how to do nothing. And Damien says he has 9 kids. All right, Damien, look, if you have 9 kids, then okay, yes, sleeping is going to be harder for you. You still got to get some sleep. But yeah, 9 kids. Respect, Mr. Damien. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And to answer Colleen's question, when you are late diagnosed and you push your nervous system to a point of burnout, you have to be extremely kind to yourself and you have to rewire your nervous system. Okay, that's the hardest thing for a lot of us. If you're stuck in survival mode, your nervous system is not, you can't do what you want to do. You feel like you're compelled to do things that you need to do in order to not lose it. So the key thing is healing your nervous system. And it's a journey. Like you don't wake up one day and your nervous system is healed and you're like, oh, I'm perfect. It's a journey, and progressively you get better. But you have to stand up for yourself in small ways and look to win the small battles. Don't try and go and win the war. Look to win the small battles. Like the small daily decisions that you make, are they getting you closer to the type of person that you want to be? And that can be by saying no. No, I can't do this. No, I can't hang out. No, I can't come out. No, I have this thing I'm working on right now. I'll hang out later. I can't come out this weekend. I'm so sorry. I got to focus on this. I can't come out. I got to get some sleep. But you got to put yourself first. Put yourself all the way at the top of the priority list. All the way at the top of the priority list. Someone said, I've heard fascia release for nervous system. Is that true? So I'm looking into that right now. There is a woman in our private neurodivergent group. It's called the Neurodivergent Lab. It's a private community where we have monthly Zoom calls and we have courses and things like that. We connect with other neurospicy people. We have a woman there who talks about things like that. So I'm still looking into that. I think that could be helpful for your nervous system. It's something that I think we should definitely look into. Let me see. I wasn't diagnosed until 2 weeks before my 50th birthday. Hey, the late diagnosis makes things really difficult. It makes things really hard. It's hard when you want to, though. When you want to go out and be social, then when the time comes, it's like, what did I get myself into? And look, Jared, sometimes the answer is you do have to leave the house, okay? It depends. Sometimes you don't want to leave, but you're like, all right, I've been at home for too long. The fellas want to hang out. All right, I will leave the house. I will go have a drink or two. I'm not the biggest proponent of alcohol or anything like that, but sometimes the key is you do need to go out and have a drink or two. Keep in mind, I said a drink or two. I didn't say 30 drinks and get wasted, but sometimes it is good to go out and follow through on the plans that you made. Now, if you're exhausted and you have no capacity, then don't do it, obviously. But sometimes it is good to get out, hang with the fellas, hang with the friends, or even go out by yourself. Go out by yourself. We need to bring back the art of going out by yourself. It's something that a lot of people struggle with. And I get that it can be difficult, but it's liberating in a way. It's liberating. Big Bo McCarthy. Yes, those are skits. Those are skits. Duh, 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 duh. I'm allergic to alcohol. All right, okay, look, if you're allergic to alcohol, then don't drink. Don't drink. Definitely don't drink. Matthew on TikTok, how are you? The drag queen asks a really good question right now. Do you struggle making friends? I've been a loner for 3 years, and last September I found out I have autism and ADHD. I am a very social person. I like talking to people in public, and I'll talk to people. I'll talk to everybody. So I'm a social butterfly, but I do struggle to make friends, at least at this stage in my life. Um, and I think it was easier when I was younger. It's not like extremely hard now, but it's become much harder for me to make new friends. The things that I'm working on and like the direction that I'm headed in, it forces me to be locked in, and the little free time that I have, later on, thank you, I see it. The little free time that I do have is really reserved for family and the friends that I already have. But I would like to make more friends, and I make attempts at doing that. Sometimes being a public figure makes it weird, trying to make friends, but I still do put myself out there a little bit here and there, So, but to answer your question, it is harder. It's definitely become harder. I treat myself to a regular solo date, even if it's for ice cream. Yeah, we should do this. It's cool to do things by ourselves. I mean, not like all the time, but once you start doing things by yourself, it'll be hard to do it with other people. You don't want to be alone for too long. I can tell you that. You don't want to be alone for too long. Like, I like my free time, but I gotta hang with the fellas every now and then. I gotta spend time with people, because if you get accustomed to being by yourself for too long, you won't want to leave the house. And Chloe on TikTok says, I always make it weird. Well, there's a good chance that whoever you're trying to become friends with, could be weird too. I go to a movie alone, but I yap in the concession line. Yeah, I'll do that as well. Doing things by yourself, it's cool. It's cool. Difference between conversations with strangers and building new friendships. I do agree. The real friends you have, brother, will never question the absence time. Yeah, and that's why I appreciate the fellas. Shout out to David. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Big Mike. Shout out to Little Mike. I mean, they're both like 28 and 33 right now, but we still call them Little Mike and Big Mike. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to my guys. Shout out to my brothers, Kwame and Rob. Shout out to Greg. Shout out to Thomas. Shout out to Roberto. The guys that have held me down throughout the years. We can go months without talking, and then I talk to them on the phone for like 4 hours. So we're catching up and we're laughing. I'm like, oh, you got a kid now? Oh, you got a girl? You broke up with your girl? Oh, you got a new girl? Oh, you moved? You're in Portland now? Oh. So I do have a good group of friends, but we don't talk as nearly as often as I would like to. So I think I could do a much better job of really reaching out. Trying them to relate. That's what Chloe says. And the direct queen says, I feel like it's a hard balance being a mom and a student working for my professor. Balancing things, yeah, it can definitely be tough. And Raki says, can't stay in too long. Makes my anxiety 3 times worse when I finally do go out. Right. You stay inside for too long. I'm telling you, you go outside, you're weird. Somebody will ask you a question. They'll say, hi. Like, how are you? And you'll be like, 27. Like, how are you? 27. How are you doing? Oh, I'm okay. I thought you asked how old I was. Like, you'll just be very awkward if you don't leave the house. So whenever you do leave the house, it'll be awkward in the beginning, but the more that you do do that. It should get better. Should get better. Stephanie on TikTok, thank you for coming through to say hi. Shout out to Stephanie on TikTok. I've been an OG supporter for the past 6 years. 6 years, really 6.5. And she'll be coming to the show in San Diego. So Stephanie, thank you. Hope you and Lyric and your own man are doing good. Really, really appreciate you. Yeah. Hit me more with 10 more. How are you so I can calibrate? 6 years. Make you think, yeah, 76 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. 6 years. Is how long I've been posting on TikTok. 6 years, 6.5 years. My goodness. And Chloe says, so funny. I found you on Facebook long before I made TikTok. Chloe, we are everywhere. The goal is to be everywhere. The goal is to be everywhere. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, because some people are loyal to certain platforms. So regardless of where your platform is, I'm going to put my content on there. I'm going to find you one way or another. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I only followed you here like this. Well, I'm happy you followed me. The show in New York is June 11th at Rodney's Comedy Club, Matthew. June 11th, okay? I'm super excited for it. June 11th, it's going to be so good. June 11th at Rodney's Comedy Club. The next week, we're going to be in Chicago, Illinois at the Comedy Bar. And in a week and a half from now, we'll be in Nashville, Tennessee. Tickets are still available for the second show in Nashville. The first one is sold out. I love you and your girlfriend's kids. I've seen you on all platforms. Thank you, Sophie. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting on multiple platforms. We have some people who support on multiple platforms, and that's crazy because it's like you liked my video on TikTok, then you went to Instagram, you liked it, then you went to Facebook and you liked it, then you went to YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll be competing with FIFA. I know. I'm competing with the World Cup. I know. Who do I think I am? But Matthew, you'll be there. Matthew, thank you. I'll see you in New York City at Rodney's Comedy Club. Stephanie, we're gonna have a blast in New York. It's gonna be great. I still see patients. I still have my software psychiatry private practice up there, and I still do see patients too. So I still see patients. I know that at some point I'll retire, but yeah, I still see patients. I'm young though. I'm young. I got energy right now. I'm young. Me, except for Facebook, I deleted my account. So, what do you get banned for on Facebook? What do you have to do to be banned on Facebook? Very interesting. There's something that's not being. I need to know the rest of that story. Getting banned on Facebook. And Sky Hunter says, you have ADHD when you watch on multiple screens. Facts. Want to see you in Boston. Yeah, I'll be in Boston at the end of July. And we'll also be in Springfield, Massachusetts. So yeah, would love to see y'all there. So if you think I should go get evaluated, what made you pursue comedy as a psychiatrist in perfect ADHD fashion? Well, I've always wanted to do comedy, and I spend the majority of my day laughing, whether it's at myself or things that are happening in the world. I'm always laughing. So I've always been intrigued by comedy, whether I'm making funny sketches or just watching comedy, and I never thought that I could do it. And when I moved to my first apartment, I was in Orange County, and I moved to North Hollywood. I moved to an apartment that was right behind a comedy club, and I would go there multiple times a week. And if I was, going on a date with a girl, I would take her to that comedy club. So I would go to that club over and over and over and over. And eventually the comedians were like, "Yo, you're funny. You should hop on stage and do an open mic." I'm like, "Nah, that's for y'all." But I was talked into doing an open mic, and I got sucked into it really quickly. And then one thing led to another, and now I'm doing stand up. So I love stand up. Delete your account to reactivate 20 times. Okay, I didn't know Facebook would ban you for that. Jared, I appreciate that. I'll continue to be the voice of the people. I definitely will do that. And Lovita, I appreciate that. July, are you talking about Boston? I can let you know right now. Boston is July 24th at Lil Chuck. So Lil Chuck in Boston, Massachusetts, July 24th. And the very next day will be Roar Comedy Club in Springfield, Massachusetts, which is close to the Connecticut border, apparently. So I'm still learning like the geography of New England. Favorite comedian growing up? Movie wise, it was Robin Williams for me. Movie wise, it was Robin Williams. That's my favorite comedian growing up. Now, stand up wise, my favorite comedian growing up was Chris Rock. And I loved Everybody Hates Chris. That was my show. My favorite comedian of all time, though, I would say is Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, I think, is the GOAT. And I have him ranked a little bit higher than Richard Pryor. But Chappelle, anybody who's doing stand-up, including myself, we're all chasing Dave Chappelle's, the shadow of his greatness. I think he's I think he's a GOAT. I think he's exceptional. I really do. Oh, but we do have a Phoenix show. We have a show September 17th, Chandler, Arizona, Mic Drop Comedy. So we do have a show in Phoenix. It's Chandler, Arizona, which is like 30 minutes away. But we do have a show in the Arizona area. We do have a show in the Arizona area. And Jared, if you come out to the show, you come to the meet and greet, I will have a chance to chop up with you for a little bit. So hopefully you get to come. Chicago isn't that far. Chloe, come on through. Come on through. Texas. We just did Texas. Texas was the first stop. We did Houston, Texas. I'm looking right now. I'm looking to book a show in San Antonio. Looking to book one in Dallas or Arlington. So we're working on having more dates in Texas. Texas was great. So we're looking to come back to Texas. We don't have any in Cincinnati or Florida yet, but we'd love to come there. We would love to come there. The Kevin Hart roast was cringe. I do like Kevin Hart, and he's more so of a motivator for me. I like his comedy as well, but Kevin Hart's one of the most motivating individuals that I have read about and read his books and things like that. So I love Kevin Hart's story, and it shows that anything is possible. But I did not watch the roast myself. Did not watch it. I heard it was 3 hours long, and I'm like, I'm good. I was gonna watch it, but they said it's 3 hours long. My attention span is not. Nah, I'm good. Give me the highlights. Give me the highlights. Like if somebody can clip it up, I'm good. But I'm not 3 hour. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Are you anywhere near Erie, Pennsylvania? I'm not, but perhaps I'll have a show there. You heard me cracking? Atlanta, I did Atlanta 2 years ago, but I would love to come back to Atlanta. I need to come back to Atlanta, actually. I need to come back to Atlanta. So, yeah. So that's what we have going on. Someone says the roast was racist and misogynistic. Look, I did not watch the roast. People have a lot of strong opinions on the roast, and sometimes certain jokes will people may deem them to be racist or sexist. At the end of the day, with comedy, we try and hold a space for people to get their perspectives out. And yes, some comedians inherently are racist or homophobic or sexist. Like we do have that. But the thing about comedy that I really enjoy is that you get, Chappelle says it best, you get a space, to express your viewpoints. And people may not agree with it. And Chappelle said that he'll sit down with comedians who he knows that are racist and say bad things, and you still respect their ability to get up and use their freedom of speech. So sometimes you don't have to be, buddy with somebody, but we give people the avenue to express their viewpoints. So yeah, 50 Nifty. 50 Nifty. I like that. The roast is thoroughly clipped on YouTube. So I have seen a couple of like the small clips, the ones that are like 30 seconds or less. I've seen that, and I saw Cat Williams' part. Cat Williams' part was like maybe 7 minutes long, but it was Cat Williams, and it was really good. So I watched that whole part. If it's good, I have the attention span. If I don't know whether it's good or not, and it's long, I'm gonna check out of it. No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I saw this part. This is super dope. This was dope to see them, make up and put their differences, behind each other. So that was super cool. Super cool. Atlanta misses you. Well, I miss Atlanta too. I miss Atlanta too. Miss Atlanta too. So yeah, that's it for tonight's live stream. We'll be back on next week Tuesday. And Monday is also a holiday too, so it's gonna be a holiday weekend. I think it's Memorial Day, like next week Monday. I just realized that yesterday that Monday is gonna be a holiday, so it's gonna be a long weekend. Hopefully, you all get the chance to rest and you get to relax. At least relax one day. At least relax one day. Like as much as I grind, I'll take a day to relax. I'll probably take Sunday to relax, and then I'll grind Monday and Saturday, or flip one of those days. But I'll take at least one day to relax. All right. So Chloe says you relax. Chloe, you're right. I'm guilty as charged. I'll tell her to relax, but then I'll try and sneak some work in. But Chloe, you're right. I'll relax. So until the next live stream, y'all be good. Y'all be easy. Next live stream is going to be Tuesday next week, 9 o'clock New York time, 8 o'clock Nashville time, 7 o'clock Phoenix time, 6 o'clock Los Angeles time, 5 o'clock Alaska time, 4 o'clock Hawaii time, 2 a.m. United Kingdom time. That is going to be the time of the next live stream. And for those of y'all who are interested in the comedy tickets, the link is in the bio for the comedy tickets. Nashville, Tennessee, May 31st. We still have tickets for the second show. After that, we're going to be in New York City, June 11th. The following week, Chicago, Illinois, June 18th. Then at the end of July, we'll be in Boston, Massachusetts at Lil Chuck, July 24th. Then July 25th, we're in Springfield, Massachusetts at Roar Comedy. September 17th, we're in Chandler, Arizona. December 3rd, we are in San Diego, California at Mike Drop Comedy. All right. So those are the comedy dates and information. For more info and for ticket info, hit the link in the bio. For the private neurodivergent community that we have, hit the link in the bio for that as well. And for the rest of y'all, I will see y'all next week, Tuesday at 9 o'clock Eastern. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. Stay safe and get some rest. And I'm going to also get some rest too. I'm going to get some rest. And Batty, what a name. Batty Daddy. All right. Says, we need you in movies, Kojo. It's coming sooner than you would expect. All right. Y'all will see me in movies very soon. Don't you worry. All right. Love y'all. Take care. Have a good night.